I came across this post in the Black Lady subreddit. She says, husband, who's a white man, had an interesting conversation with some black men. So she used the flare interracial relationships. She says, a couple of times a month, my husband and one of our neighbors, a black man married to a white woman, head to a cigar club after golfing. Up until a few weeks ago at a kid's birthday party, I had only known two of the guys, the neighbor and a friend of his who is also married to a white woman. Turns out a good chunk of the crew, not my hubby's, the neighbor, are black men married to non black women, mostly white women. Anyway, I guess the conversation after the party was the shock that my husband, who is Italian, was married to a black woman, and they've been having some candid conversations since. A lot of the guys are older than my husband by 6 to 10 years. We are 34 and have been married for 10 years. Got married fresh out of college for my master's for me. One of the guys expressed that he definitely felt a type of way when they met me because it's still weird for a brother to see a financially stable, well educated black woman with a white man, which my husband said he laughed at because a lot of these men have white wives. And it can be seen as a deliberate choice since a lot of them are financially stable and successful. One of them, one of them works in an associate director capacity at Facebook. The other part of the conversation my husband found interesting was the comments about how we started out together and that I might not have extended the same grace to a black man because black women want black men who are fully packaged and ready to marry and will not start out with a man until he's accomplished things, and white women do. Basically, that we don't work with potential. Obviously, I think this is false. I happen to marry a white man. I dated exclusively black educated men before. My husband wasn't broke when we met, but we weren't exactly what you would call made. We met while I was juggling a student assistant work and my degree. I wasn't making a lot. I lived in a studio. He did 2 years of college before he realized it wasn't for him. He was working part time. When he realized it wasn't what he wanted, he got a factory job and moved back in with his mom so he could, one, pay off his student debt, and two, go to trade school and pay for it in cash. He did both things while I wrapped up grad school. When we moved in together, we lived in a decent apartment, but it was above a burger joint and it cost us $800. He started his apprenticeship, barber stylist, and wasn't making a lot at all. I worked for Staples and West Elm while searching for a job in advertising. We probably made $45,000 combined, but we had a plan. He wanted his own shop and wanted to be a brand educator. We didn't wait to get married. We collectively decided we wanted to, and it could be special without breaking the bank. We watched his brother, who was in school and racking up student debt in the six figures, have a $40,000 wedding and a $30,000 honeymoon. They are doing well financially now, still paying those loans though. We got married on a budget of $2,000 and received $10,000 cash in wedding gifts. We saved that money. We saved everything we could. Hubby's career took off within 2 years, and I landed a job that I loved and paid well. We stayed in the dinky apartment. We shared a car since I was 9 to 5 and didn't need to leave the office. We spent a year building his shop with a very small business loan that we planned to pay off within the next year. He's an amazing barber, stylist, travels a few times a year for a Clipper brand, and teaches lessons at some local cosmetology schools. We are doing well now. I'll be stepping away from my current job where I'm an associate director after we have our second baby, who is due in May next year, and taking on freelance work so I can be home with our kids. Would I have traveled the same journey with a black man? 1,000%. All I needed was a plan. I very much told my husband this, and he shared that with them. That the night I agreed to move in with him, I needed a plan. Love is hard enough sometimes. I didn't want to struggle on top of it. And I was very clear about it, and he held up his end of the. Ultimately, I wonder why the double standard? I don't particularly care who someone is with, but it's odd when another black person who's not married to a black person has feelings about why someone else isn't with a black person. Add, I know it's not all of them. So I'm about 10 years older than this couple. And I grew up in the age where these men were telling Black women that we weren't enough, that they do not like educated women, that they don't want career focused women. They have told us this, that we are not the preference. I used to live in California. And I was a Black woman with natural hair. I'm not very slender. I'm a thicky thick girl. I'm an unambiguously Black woman. I was not courted. I was not pursued by Black men. So when I was out here on the West Coast, and I see Black women with white men, it doesn't even faze me anymore because I know that these women are just going where they're celebrated. They're going towards the men that actually pursue them. And it's so odd, but not really, that these men feel a way like this person because Black women are not just pining away after them, even when they are paired up. This part right here, where he said Black women want Black men who are fully packaged and ready to marry and will not start out with a man until he's accomplished things, and white women do. That is so silly. This part right here. That's so silly. They really believe that they are the prize. And for the longest time, Black women, myself included, did work with potential. We really did. It's just that it bit women in the butt when they did so, because it's not really just about the words. It is, can you show a concrete plan? Have you enrolled in the classes? Have you done the paperwork? Have you done X, Y, and Z to show that you're actually headed in that direction? And a lot of them have made it very clear that they don't want educated women. They really don't. And many of us jump right out of high school and go to college. We do so because our parents, our mothers, our grandmothers pushed us in that direction so that we don't end up jacked up. Anyways, let's look at some of these comments. Okay, so false premise says because you married your partner for who he is, they married their partners for who they aren't. I'm gonna say that one more time. Because you married your partner for who he is, they married their partner for who they aren't. So to see a white man who could easily have what they consider the ideal, a white woman, choose you instead makes them feel bamboozled. Society told them that this is what they should want. This is the prize, and then went out and got it. Then here comes a white man with a smart, beautiful Black woman on his arm, and it's like, hey, but you said. So to live with that feeling of being played, they made up this narrative that you probably wouldn't have picked them anyway, even though Black women are the group of women most likely to accept struggle, and the women they are actually married to would very likely leave them if they no longer had money. After all, if you're no longer winning, then you don't deserve a prize. This person says, so accurate, it's uncanny. This is exactly it. But the funny thing is, they also consider themselves a prize. So they start to feel away because not all Black women are pining away after them. I love this comment. They still feel entitled to women they can't even have or don't want, and they are obsessed with gaining more privilege. This is because they genuinely see themselves as the prize, and they want women just like, okay, when will it be my turn? Jesus, God, Buddha, please send me the perfect Black man. And they want Black women to keep giving them ugly looks that they believe that Black women are jealous of them. And they just can't understand a Black woman that is not jealous of their situation. And then Interracial Lovin' says, and there's also this weird hate a lot of Black men have for Black women. They hate to see us happy, especially with the man outside of our race. I think this part right here, they hate to see us happy, is just a blanket statement that we see a lot of the time. Women could just put up a picture of themselves being happy, at ease, at rest, doing something spectacular, luxurious, and women will just get hate for no reason. So I don't know what that is all about, but they really don't want to see a Black woman cared for and loved on. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this post. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.